YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a fun time, I promise. I am weird, but it's a good kind of weird, you know. Today we are gonna discuss my kind of first fitness journey. I know I've been having like a lot of chit chats lately regarding that, but I've also been getting a lot of questions about it. Also, we're in fall season. It's officially socially acceptable to have all the pumpkin spice and apple flavor things. I know like I've been way ahead, as most girls are, but I'm just saying it is now socially acceptable. Tis the season, let's go. But today we're gonna talk about 10 mistakes that I made on my first fitness journey. There are some things that I did on my first fitness journey that I noticed are way different than I do now, and the progress, I'm roughly around the same weight, but the progress and the way my body has like recomposed itself and just, it's like mind blown. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's get started. Number one, on my first fitness journey, I was so restricted. I cut out all carbs, I cut out all sugars, I cut out just everything. Like I literally would not cheat on any holiday, any birthday, anything outside of what I chose to eat for that day. I wouldn't allow myself that because I was so nervous on going back to how it used to be. Growing up, I kind of was a binge eater, so I overate all the time. I was an emotional eater. I would procrastinate tasks because I was so stressed about them, and like I'm a perfectionist, so I would procrastinate that because like I couldn't get it the way I wanted it to, or it was just, it felt like overwhelming to me, and then I would eat instead. I would hardly eat while being around people, but then like the chance I was alone, gorge myself in food, gorge. So that's a bad relationship with food. And then come my first fitness journey, I also had a very bad relationship with food, meaning I was very restrictive, gave myself no treats ever, like literally ever. And now I eat what I want when I want. Actually, I eat clean like a lot constantly. I really don't like to eat out and have, you know, cheat meals or anything, because like I just don't typically respond well to greasy food anymore and stuff like that. So I do try and stay away from it most of the time. But if I'm in the mood for something, I'm not gonna deny myself that. Like, it's the first day of fall. You bet your butt I am buying candy corn. I restricted myself from everything, and it was not a good time. Looking back, it's just like I missed out on a lot. And then when I moved down to Orlando to do my Disney internship, and once I was around people who kind of didn't care what they ate, and I got back into that habit, it was downhill from there, and I gained all the way back plus like 40 more. So another thing I did on my first fitness journey is only cardio. I drilled my body in cardio. I ran 5 days a week for an hour straight. I didn't even really do interval training. I would just force myself to run and then train abs like all the time. I didn't lift a single weight. So while I lost a ton of fat, my body was just like frail. Not that there was anything wrong with my body after I lost the weight the first time, but just to see how my entire body like recomposed itself to a stronger version. I was like most women, but most women think that if they lift, they are going to get bulky. Newsflash, you cannot get bulky unless you are eating to get bulky. Like you have to eat in a hella calorie surplus to like bulk up like that. Like, I don't think I'm bulky. I'm just strong, you know, stronger than it. Well, along with cardio, I trained abs every single day as well. And let me tell you, I hardly train them now, and I have way more definition in them than I did then. Like, you should train your core a decent bit just to strengthen it, so it is like kind of more defined, but it is also based on like your fat loss, how much body fat you have on you. But a lot of the times, even if I don't necessarily train abs, I'm doing compound lifts, so I'm engaging my core. Like, number 4, you guys, I just get mad that everyone told me growing up that in order to lose weight, I had to cut carbs. Like, most people I talk to today that ask for advice and everything like that, they straight up, you know, tell me like, oh yeah, like I'm cutting carbs, I'm doing all the right thing. Do you not realize that carbs are also fruits and vegetables? Like, carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are going to fuel your body and give you the energy you need to get through that workout. That is one thing I wish. No wonder I look so weak. I was weak back then. I was so weak. W-E-A-K-E. I'm gonna add the E on the end because that's how weak I was. At number 5, I relied a lot on calorie tracking apps and weight loss apps to help me count my calories because I was so obsessed with them at the time. And they're so inaccurate. 1,200 calories a day, like they say, and I'm just like,
no, God, please, no, 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 no.
Because the apps told me like 1,200 calories, so I would stick to that so profusely. And because of that, there were so many times I was like starving and did not eat. I just didn't, because, you know, the app told me 1,200 calories. So do not follow those apps. They are highly inaccurate. And I don't like them. Ixnay on the app stay. Another thing I definitely did wrong, even though for both journeys I chose not to weigh myself for like at least a while. Like, I would do check-ins, but they would be like, I'm talking like 7-8 months apart. Like, I did not obsess over this. Well, during the first one, I was still very obsessed with a number. Like, my goal was always to hit a specific number in my head. And while like in the back of my mind, of course, I always have like a number I would like to hit, but I don't focus on that. I'm focusing on the feeling, my confidence levels, my energy levels, how well I'm sleeping, you know, things that matter, because those at the end of the day are going to be more beneficial to keep track of than a number on a scale, because that does not determine my worth as a person. And that brings me into 7, because I thought I had to. Like I said, you should never feel like exercise or eating healthy food is a chore for you. It should always be just something you want to do because of how you feel and how your body reacts to it in like such a positive way. And my first journey, like, I of course enjoyed the confidence and everything like that, and like the compliments, I guess, but I really didn't focus on the journey either. I was just like, oh, I have to work out today, and if I didn't, it was like a very big guilt thing for me. A little break isn't going to set back your process, and that's not how my mind was operating. I was just I have to do this because if I don't, I will gain weight or whatever. So it's not a chore. But a lot of people out there cannot even like normally walk. Like some people don't have the ability to work out, and some people don't have the means to even afford to eat healthy, and you do. So that's something to be grateful for, in my opinion. My first one, I did not push myself outside of my comfort zone. You know, I talked about, you know, I didn't really lift. I did a lot of cardio, but even my cardio was very stagnant. I never pushed my speed. The only thing I really pushed was like my running time. Like I never pushed myself doing like sprints or inclines or, you know, strength training or anything like that. So that's something I definitely do regret, and I definitely think now the way I push myself, like I'm constantly like doing progressive overloads, lifting heavier, doing sprints. I'm switching up my training, more variety and stuff, so I'm noticing way more progress than the first one, because I was so just stagnant and I did what I knew, and running was all I knew, and my body got used to that, running at the same speed, the same time, everything. And so while I was still kind of losing fat and stuff like that, I wasn't, you know, toning or strengthening my body in any way, because I wasn't pushing myself to its full ability. Number 9, I did not listen to my body. Like I said, I was very restrictive. I was very intense. I didn't give my body rest when it needed it. I didn't listen to it when it was hungry. I still wouldn't eat. Like I was like, well, I hit my calories for the day, so I can't eat anything else. I had this impression that being hungry meant that it was working and I was gonna lose all this weight. And just looking back, it's so ridiculous, because now, like, if I'm hungry, I don't care what time of day it is, I am going to eat stuff. But like, if I am hungry, I will gorge down some food. Don't even like put it past me. Like, I am not someone that would ever do what I did on my first journey. And it's hard because people asked me at the beginning of the second one, when I started losing weight again, oh, like what, you aren't eating, you're starving yourself? And I was like, no, you have no idea how much a girl can still eat and how much I do still eat. Like, I just eat the good foods, the whole foods, the unprocessed foods. I would feel so obligated to eat so clean all the time that like I would be so scared that if they saw me eat like one fry or whatever, they would just like judge me. Like, there is a guy in our cafeteria at work who knew I was trying to, you know, lose weight again, and every time, like, if I had a bad day and wanted some fries or whatever, he would make a big deal about it. And so that kind of made me relive some PTSD with my first journeys, and like growing up, because of my relationship with food. So it took me a long time to get to the point where I have such a good relationship with food, and I never thought. Lastly, I had the wrong perspective. The first time, I was so determined to do this for other people, to make my family proud, to impress people I went to high school with, to just impress everyone. I thought my weight was the reason I would lose friends, lose guys, lose whatever. I just thought that was such a big determining factor of who I was. So not only was the first journey just kind of not as good, it was just restrictive, still unhealthy. I didn't understand the journey mentally as well. I didn't take time to understand the mental process behind fitness in general, because fitness is not being a size 0, it's not being skinny. Fitness is a lot of mentality, and it is a lot of just loving yourself and knowing that you are worth it and you are more than enough for anyone, and anyone that decides to, you know, say hurtful things or leave your life or gossip about you or whatever the case may be does not determine your worth. But it's like you live, you learn, mistakes were made, and that's okay. Those are kind of the 10 mistakes I made on my first fitness journey. I am much better up now, but thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a beautiful day.